Good morning. It's Dr. Ashley Romichuk, and I am here doing my second series of, I begin with it calling focused breath and teaching pranayama. I am essentially teaching yoga. I suppose I could call it Dr. Ashley Romichuk Yoga or Ashley Kristina Romichuk Yoga, just my name. That's the proper way for somebody to teach yoga, is to call it their name of yoga, because it's based on what they know. They, as teachers before I, and most teachers are connected with a guru, a specific one that they connect with. So mine is Babaji. He is the main guru behind Kriya Yoga, which is focusing on the breath. Yoga is also asanas. True asana or asana. I'm going to go to India and see how I pronounce these in comparison to those whose language is close to Sanskrit. I'm on a mission for the revival of Sanskrit. The word asana means to take a seat. And this deals with your nervous system becoming very relaxed. It's a very important component of yoga that people in the West, some people are missing the comprehension of. When you take a seat in your asana, you essentially relax your entire being, okay? So the real one you want to get into is to be seated and to have all your chakras aligned, your muscles aligned. So you can sit with your spine and you can do your Kriya breath if you're following Kriya, but any other yoga too, where you're just seated to truly meditate and enter into samadhi. You want to do this in all the moving poses though. So we have several different parts of the moving postural portion of yoga, which essentially gets you into the full seated asana. Each of my new series is going to focus on a different asana and teach the importance of it, because by now in North America we have a lot of people doing yoga. However, some of these teachings of these postures is actually quite important, and listening to the teacher in your class inherently becomes a very important place. However, we also have a North America where people are teaching these and their degree of knowledge is perhaps not total. It's easy to become a yoga teacher in North America, which is a problem, okay? It has become a business here. There are certain things. I'm sorry, but when you are doing your sun's meditations, which is at the rise of the sun in the morning, I'm smiling. You are meant to be facing the sun. And the Ashandra-based movement, sequence is the word I'm looking for, is meant to be to the moon. So you're actually connected with the moon. And we do have a gravitational force on Earth, which does affect how our body is moving, right? And yoga understands all this connection in a great way. Real yoga. Tadasana is the one I want to teach for my first one. It's called the mountain pose. And it is actually a very difficult posture to truly get. When you are walking through life, the real yogi is always truly being a yogi first, every moment of every day, of every second, of every posture, of every breath, okay? That's yoga. Tadasana, mountain pose, you are always paying attention to your roots, your feet. You're always checking in, and planting them on the earth, grounding, pulling up the energy through your legs, bringing in, Tadasana, Tadasana. I don't know, I need to go there and be like, how do you pronounce it? But what doesn't matter is how I pronounce it. I grew up in Canada. My first language is English. I'm just learning Sanskrit. Is I know what I'm talking about. That's what matters. And this posture is a very advanced posture, okay? And yet it's one of the first postures you might learn in sequencing of yoga. And this is why yoga it's circular almost, okay? You start these things, maybe you don't pay attention, you always come back, same with your home and your patterns of life. You'll notice there's a pattern, there's a cycle. Everything on this planet operates in a cycle. So yoga is also finding what is your cycle, your calendar, your calendar. So Tadasana, mountain pose, you are literally using almost probably every muscle in your body to do it properly, okay? So when we're taught it on the mat, most people are taught like this. I've got to have this on an angle, or maybe here. I'm not the best photographer doing this all on my own, and I'm not even techie. Let's see, can we do it this way? Can you see my feet? A little bit. Okay, Tadasana. When you're taught it, beginner yoga. Oh, always, no matter how advanced you ever get to be, go back to the beginning, back to the basics all the time. This is a good part of the cycle. Okay, so you will be taught, have your feet planted on the mat, under your hips, under your shoulders. Okay, I'm going to put this up here now. Forgive me for my elementary ways of filming this. Some people put up videos on YouTube or their Instagram or whatever their videos now, and they're so perfect because they've got it all set up filming, and I'm just turn on Zoom. Anyways, you put your feet under your hips, under your shoulders, kind of aligned. Okay, so there's a plumb line, and it runs up, and it's really cool because a lot of yoga connects with the Chinese meridians as well. And when you get real into your yogic practice, you become so energetic to these things. You really feel the energy of these meridians. So you plant your feet. However, this is always about working your feet properly. You have to truly plant your big toe, spread your toes, push into the ground, widen your feet. Make sure your ankle, your calcaneus, your bone, heel bone, this bone is planted in to the ground. So at the same time, now yoga is mind, just like martial arts is mind. Just like we lose the mind in yoga. But the process is important. You plant into the earth, and at the same time, you bring up the earth through your, like you're actually like inside of your legs. And you follow how do you say it? It's counter, okay? So you're planting in, but you're pulling up, and in doing this, you're actually using your feet properly. You should have your arches pulled up, okay? There's a little muscle right above your knee, your patella, and you learn to contract your lateralis medius, and what's that called? I'm trying to remember all my anatomy terms right now. Anyways, there's two muscles on the side, basically, on the side of your femur. So here and here, here and here. And often people have, if your hips are out, your center's out, your diaphragm can be out. That's why breathing becomes so important in yoga. It all works together. So when people are having any problem in their body, including like digestive problems, it can also be because there's a physiological imbalance of the muscular skeletal system. And yes, you can go to a chiropractor to do some of this work, maybe an osteopath. You also have to have your muscles in proper balance and dynamics in your body. That's why yoga is important. You balance the body, okay? And through doing that, you can come into health. And I'm gonna say this, all my videos on here. If I use my name, Dr. Ashley Romanchuk, naturopathic doctor, that's just my title. We live in this society where people want to sue each other all the time. It's crazy business. None of this is medical advice or treatment. This is yoga. This is my yoga. Okay? Yoga is much bigger than just naturopathic medicine. Try and encompass something so big. Yoga is the only way to communicate about everything. It is everything. Okay? The path of the yogi, mind, body, soul, mind, body, spirit aligned. You have to learn reality. What is yours? What's your belief systems? And it doesn't matter what others believe in. Anyways, let's get back to TADASANA, mountain pose. Now, for those really wanting to find true balance in this pose, I'll put these up on my website. I'll make them eventually. Probably out of something sustainable like wood. So people don't just buy things and throw them away. I don't like styrofoam. We need to change this planet, right? It's the planet we live on. Goodbye styrofoam, goodbye plastics. Anyways, I'm chatting because maybe somebody will hear me. These are great. One or two. You don't need much. But when your femurs are not aligned into your hips, and your hips are not properly, and then your muscles are not properly strong, it takes a long time to get to where I am. I've practiced yoga for a long time. I'm in good balance. A lot of people are not close to this level of balance. So what I'm teaching is how you come into and train your body to come into center plumb line balance, breathing. This is just follow the videos. I'm teaching everything in proper series of how I know. Okay, so this is the first asana video. A series 2, teaching me asanas. Okay. So put this in here, close up as high as you can, and you squeeze, and you're squeezing everything. You're starting to use your body. Okay. In yoga, nobody can tell you more than the parts I'm telling you. You then have to fall into what is true asana. And this is you relax into your pose. You relax into your body. You must fall into your being. Okay? It's yoga. So you get into this place and you simply fall into your being. Any of you that are practicing yoga and you're doing moving postures, you're going to classes, you're not falling into your being. In every posture of that class, not in yoga. I'm giving time as if you're watching this and practicing this. Most people have a slight leg discrepancy. It will affect your spine, it will affect your hips, it will affect all parts. Tadasana, especially with these blocks, is one of the best ways to fix this from the ground up. Working ground up is very important because what do we do most of the day? Well, we sleep. That's not daytime though. We walk. People don't do it enough. Stand. Sit. Most people are sitting too much, and then we've got digestive problems and lung problems and heart problems, and I wonder why. I'm just slouched over. The whole digestive system, lungs, and heart doesn't like that, you know. Anyways, the next one to play with. You can use the same blocks. These are about the same width. I'm a small girl. If you've got bigger, wider hips, you might want to go for a thicker block. I'm sure if you find them in the stores, order them online. I'll be putting I'll be getting some of these from my website because I'm never going to not be connected with yoga. I am yoga. So I'll speak it and teach it as I can, as I will. Actually, Kristina yoga. Anyways, different ways. So, Iyengar, in many ways what I'm teaching now, I never studied Iyengar, but I feel like he was a father to me. I'm very connected to these old yogis and teachers. So now put it the other way, and you'll really start to notice right under your pubic bone here, probably the same for men, we're not really that different. Well, there's major insertions of muscles here, but basically you can bring the pubic symphysis into good alignment. You have to do it with where your bone structure is. So this is why I'm saying in this pose and every single asana, you have to take a seat within the pose. You have to be within your body. Okay, so how do you need to move to get these all aligned, and then go into your body and your breathing through your nose. Remember Kriya. Or remember Ujjayi, breath of the seashore. If you don't remember these, go back to series 1 and start to practice just being attuned to your breath. Simple. Ujjayi. Remember also with every breath you go, I love you when you're breathing in. Breathe out, I love you. Remember this is yoga too. All of it's yoga. What energy you exude every moment of every day is yoga. Lion's breath. Remember I did that. Go back to series 1 if you don't. Okay. From here, your second chakra is always in and up. The masters know exactly where they reside in space. Okay? And this is based on knowing the body, where the eyes sit, knowing self completely. It's a big deal, not so easy. If everybody on earth did this, just started focusing inward on self, we would live in a very peaceful place. Okay, so there is a yogic gaze. Do exactly as I did and put this on here because tactile awareness of where your head even moves in space is a part of yoga. where your eyes move, okay? Eye movement is directly connected with the nervous system. Now, I will be corrected if I am wrong on this. However, I do not think I am. And if there's any acharyas that watch this, perhaps there's a way to connect me into the proper teaching that I downloaded the knowledge. So in yoga, you can get to states where you download knowledge, you get in knowings of big comprehensions. And then after you can read them in the sacred texts, and then you go, oh my God, I learned that through myself first, and then I learned that there. That's true. So I haven't found exactly how this is translated in the sacred texts, but I downloaded some connection. And so I'm going to try and put it into the best words I can. Real yoga is such a big deal that you have complete control of your nervous system, because it's all about the nervous system. That is our interface of interaction with this world. It creates a lot of emotional reactions. It creates a lot of any reactions, really, because the nervous system rules your muscles. It removes. It connects with how, like any synapse, it's from the central nervous system, right? And it controls how you perceive, how you react. We've studied the brain, we've studied the nervous system, hormonal release. It becomes a very big part and interface to this outside, or the parent outside from us. Yoga is essentially learning your nervous system, controlling your nervous system, altering, monitoring, stilling, calming, bringing your nervous system into complete sattva, peace, tranquility. There is some connection, potentially, possibly, as far as I understand, with having complete control of the nervous system and Govinda. Govinda is possibly the state or this state or the energy where you have complete control of your nervous system. And it's also a love, right? Just as Saraswati is what I'm doing right now. Sagittarius energy, Saraswati. Truth. Knowledge. But to be Saraswati, you had to go out farther and come back to be able to speak this. So English, we have this funny language where, well, I think if everybody wants to get into real yoga, and that will happen too, as you get truly into your own yoga, you connect and you want to go back to your languages, especially mother tongue, but languages, other important languages, which may be your yoga, I'll call you. For me, it's been Sanskrit, Latvian. Latvian's derived from Sanskrit, so I've been learning Sanskrit first. And it will make it easier to learn Latvian. You dry breath, you're sitting. Okay, another thing you can do is bring your hands like this. And put it down, right here. And you just relax. Everything about it is the relaxation. How far you can fall, how deep you can fall, is the truth of asana, ASANA. How are your shoulders? Four quadrants of your feet are planted, okay? Getting to know what the bone structure of the foot looks like is a good way, but you can just know it from falling into your asana. Expand your feet, plant them down. When I started, this is actually mid-yoga. How can I compare that, really? But a good trick is you think of energy shooting down through your feet and use your third eye, going down into the earth, and then your energy beams, kind of like the energy of a tree, wraps around the core of the earth. And then start to contract your muscles and bring it up, okay? Next, we haven't even talked about it. We haven't even gotten there. But always when you go to this pose, as you're walking around in your house being a real yogi, because you focused on yoga, are your feet planted? Plant your feet, use your legs. Having a solid foundation. And then we're going into talking about energetics here. When you're grounded, you will reach very high. You must grow your roots to reach the knowledge, the higher spiritual realm. You must always remain grounded as you walk your path on in truth of yoga. So your energy beams go down into the earth and wrap around the core of the earth, so that whenever you're walking on earth, you are so grounded down. Okay? And this is a reminder, then you think of your energy beams walking and moving. And perhaps at one point you move on the earth, and perhaps at one point earth moves according to you. That's a big deal. Gravity. All right. Now you can't see my upper part, but I'll fix this and then you can see for yourself, or try to. Okay, so you've seen the bottom part where my hips are. See this? You have to pay attention. Where's your rib cage? Push into the block. Hands straight up. Breathing. You can use your breath to move your body and connect with your body. Okay, coming down here. Push into each other. Bring your shoulder blades back and down. Get to know yourself. For those that have real imbalances in the body, practicing some of these things. And I'm pushing, okay? I'm pushing against the block. I'm teaching. Can help bring balance to the body. Posture, improper posture can bring pain in the body. And focusing on balancing the literal physical, so skeletal, muscular system of the body can help bring anyone, not anyone, maybe not someone, maybe someone will be left out, so almost anyone out of dysfunction. You have to focus on many ways of moving, aligning, cleansing, nourishing. This mechanical vehicle that we each have on our physical form. Next pose you will learn mostly comes out of Hatha Yoga, a lineage that Ashtanga Yoga is under, which is a wonderful, great yoga. I'm very connected with it too. Ashtanga was my first way of learning postural asana portion of yoga. I knew it before I came into this life. The first time I did it, it was like shooting a bow and arrow. The first time I shot a bow and arrow, I was like, I know how to do this. This comes from past time, past lives. I was very good at this in the past life. It's in me. I can feel it. It's in my nervous system. I carried it through. And the teachings tell that too. Anyways, so the next thing you learn after Tadasana is that you're going to Remember, you're in your body. You're fully taking a seat within your being, relaxed. Your being can probably relax more. A lot of people, if this is just new, their degree of relaxed in their truth is like fall deeper into the relaxation, the surrender. The surrender is a major teaching in yoga too. Okay? Surrender, humility. Now, the next thing you learn in this sequence, that is the common teaching, is you, sorry, my hair. Roll your spine down. And this is a relaxation. So here, okay, so in embryology, very, very, very fascinating, because when you're doing this properly in yoga, you can feel this. In embryology, as a uterus is growing, these are actually connected in the neural cord. We're formed with our third eye down to our heartbeat, our heart. And there is a very, very serene energy that comes through here. The vagal nerve is an important cranial nerve that keeps this calm, regenerative, sattvic state. Okay, so you're relaxed. In TADASANA, seated in, you are the mountain, and you are, your being has taken a seat within your body, your mountain, your outer form. You're strong. These are the poses all have energy, and when you're practicing yoga, you understand the energy of them too. Really, truly, if anybody got into real yoga, I couldn't say why anybody would want to do anything else. It's so satisfying, beautiful, peaceful. That's how you become a walking true yogi on the earth. You couldn't be away from this. Okay, so you might take a breath out. Okay, so often it's taught Padasana. Bow, you say your prayer. I love you, grateful, you feel these things. Go up. Breathe in, grab the energy of the sun and the stars and the sky and God. Bring it down. Bow. Breathe in. Look up. Got your yoga gaze. Breathe out. Okay. So that's the very beginning of Ashtanga Hatha Yoga. And right there's a lot of work to do it properly. And you plant your hands and you go down into the plank. Always remember to Om, the oldest mantra. Another important part of yoga. Next, after playing with some of those things, and you're breathing all these things properly, the breathing portion of this I'll teach you. Ashtanga. Okay, I'm going to do it without props. Breathing portion is important. Okay? Grateful. Breath up. Breath in. Pull down. Breath out. Breath in. Look up. Breath out. And then you go into your plank. Very simple first parts of Ashtanga, but if you're not doing them properly, already you're missing the teaching of Ashtanga. Okay? So yoga is big. It's not as simple as the way it's taught here. Proper foundation is essential. Some of you don't have it. Doesn't matter too much, actually. Okay. We all have proprioceptor portions of our body, especially at the big joints, so shoulders, hips, knees. Try to pull it away. See how my hands are? Up. Bring your gaze up. Your gaze matters. Okay, we got a yogic gaze in yoga. Like you're looking into the abyss. You're so relaxed. Like the way jaguars look and lions look. Animals. They have the gaze too, okay? Not saying you're an animal, but you can be. You can have spirit animals. And then people say, oh, that's Native American lore. It's not. Not just Native American lore. Native Vedic lore too, okay? This is where people are missing all these truths. There's one God. You can call him whatever name you want. Different names. People fighting over the different names is so stupid. Creator, Allah, God, Ishvara, Krishna, Shiva. People just trying to call the same one. Krishna, to understand himself, he split himself kind of into Shiva and Shakti, or Shiva and Parvati, Shiva. energy only. These are just words to describe energies. People need to stop fighting over communicating, miscommunicating. Okay. Oh yeah. When you're sitting in your TADASANA and you're practicing with or without, I suggest playing with both, okay? Feet planted. Each foot. Okay, this is why it's important then. To be so strong that you can stand on one foot, right? And so this is where yoga as a complete, you know, your warrior poses, you've practiced real yoga, so when I'm saying Tadasana is not so simple, this is from also practicing and then going back to basics. Okay. So you need to be so strong, and for some people, if you're just getting into this, this is simply learning to stand on one foot and properly plant the foot. Teaching yoga, trying to teach something so complete is almost impossible. You can only teach parts, and the yogi must walk the path. Okay? There's no way I could teach you completeness. Okay. So your feet are planted. You can do things like learning to use your arm muscles properly, grip muscles. Again, you are so connected into. So you grab, or your hands, perhaps you need to pull up to your elbow, pull in here, okay? This is all part of Tadasana. Tadasana is a very big pose. One thing I wanted to say is right here, you've got big insertion points for muscles, and you learn to use your butt muscles, but not quite your butt muscles. These are actually your femur, posterior femur muscles properly. In this, you are stabilizing your sacrum and your hips and your femur into your hip. Where your hips sit in space, so does right here, so does right here, so does right here. Posture is very important. It's one of the main parts of yoga. So your feet are planted. You are actively using your arches, your bottom of your feet. Everything of your leg is sucked in and up. Second chakra sucked in and up. You are using these muscles I just talked about. They are activated. Where is the head of your hips? Or these pointers in dance classes. Teachers like to call this your headlights. So funny. Fall into your pose more. You'll notice, oh, I activated all these muscles, but now I relaxed more. Okay, you need to practice the activation of the arms too. Tadasana is not just your feet, okay? Similar to how you plant your feet, you start to activate your muscles in different ways of your arms. Shoulders are always rolled back, down. Your ears and your jaw always has room. Where do you hold your head in space? Where is your gaze? Are you breathing? Breathing will move your body. Let's do Ujjayi breath. Put your arms out. Activate them out. Go in. What's the alignment like with the body? Relax more. Activate up. This is continual, as in all the time. Yoga, true yogi, that is within their body completely, has mastered. Here's another one for Tadasana. So you've got your feet planted properly. We'll go back into it. So we have these sacred things. So this here is as big as your foot. Don't believe me? Go and measure it. Certain things in the body have certain ways that they work in a very cool way. So you can align. Okay, so I've got my wrist to this elbow, this, and just lift. And in proper Tadasana, your feet are under your, and you lift. And notice your shoulders. Pay attention. You just need to relax. This is yoga. Okay. So, Sufi circles for some people would be a good way to help bring balance. Okay. Okay, so I'm just working on the first tiny true bit of Ashtanga yoga. Hatha, sun, moon, balance. Sun and moon is also within, right? I like to drink water, fresh spring water that I go and get every week. Where's your closest spring? These are important yoga things for people. When you do real yoga, you're all of a sudden attuned to, excuse me, I don't like this chlorine and fluorine in my water. It tastes disgusting. So you find a spring. And those that are attuned with real yoga know how important it is to have real healthy spring water. Why it's important for earth people to protect the water. That's real yoga too. Anyways, I like to have my spring water with chia seeds, and I put a fresh organic lemon. Living in a world where we need to buy organic food, that's a problem, and that's also yoga. This is how yogis make change for this world. I shouldn't have to buy a name of organic to not have chemicals in my food that I put into my body. What kind of dumb society sprays pesticides and chemicals on food? And how can people not see This is what they're putting in their body. So what can we do about it? We start growing a garden, live in a place where we can grow our own food. We know that this has become because of mass agricultural business. People have been away from their truth. They've been busy working in the way that society is, making money. Money was originally meant for the house and food and basic necessities, and then it's become an out of balance society, North America especially. People have a lot of excess money, then a lot of the globe has no excess money. How does that work? Well, those questions become a part of yoga for sure. You know that these are reading your eyes, right? Trying to. So I just look into it, and I look truly into it. A lot of people are caught looking at themselves. This technology that's set up right now is reading people's eyes. Why do you think it's called an iPhone? When people don't get it. How do you not get it? People are getting stuck looking at themselves, because when I'm talking to you, I can see myself perfectly, my mirror image. Anyways, drinking water is important. Healthy, clean water for a healthy, clean body. Elixir of life, right? So let's go into more of the sequence. Okay, so today I'm only going to teach that part of the sequence. Learning sequence, but also just connected to you and your body, your moves. It's very important. becomes a play, a divine play. I'm done for today teaching a glimpse of Namaste.